I just want to say thank you to my former employer. Apparently you were inspired by my TED Talk last night, that you decided to come back less than 24 hours later for part 2, which I really didn't plan to give. But you know I can't resist breaking news. It's in my blood. So this is for you tonight. You may be interested to know that your employees in New York State may soon have legal protections against workplace bullying. This means that you may have to retrain your HR staff to stop protecting the company and to really take employees' claims seriously. I am so happy to share that the New York State Legislature announced today that it's going to begin discussing Senate Bill S. 1893 this session. It actually holds employers liable when employees are subjected to an abusive work environment. It's called the Workplace Bullying Prevention Act. Now, as you read through this bill, you will likely say to yourself, I know someone whose experience was clearly bullying. Yeah, mine. You remember the depositions? In fact, one of your company VPs of Human Resources, maybe it was you, ran a sham investigation. You believed the lies from my coworkers, even in the face of all of my evidence, including texts, voicemails, and recordings. And you know I have all the receipts. So where should we start? How about being reprimanded for wearing my natural hair after breast cancer, which I believe I got from the years of stress trying to get the powers that be to hold people accountable? Oh, remember that time when I was told I couldn't take spring break and would not be eligible for a vacation until June? March to June. Because I owed the station 2 days for my immunotherapy treatments. And I know you remember when my co-anchors, the assistant news director, and 2 producers had a running bet, $20, on if I would call out sick on my treatment days. I have the evidence. Being promoted to the 6 p.m. broadcast, but you refused to give me a raise, saying it was duties as assigned. And you know there's so much more. You know it all. But I'm going to stop because I don't want to trigger you. Thanks to extensive therapy, I finally realized that you were the problem. The proverbial you, not you personally, but collectively. I asked for accountability, beginning with the co-anchor who was constantly changing my scripts before the shows, or my completed stories being taken away by the news director. Yes, the same one who poked me on my shoulder 2 separate occasions to come to his office, where he asked me, what's the beef going on between the 2 of us? Now remember, I've lived my life in sound bites. I don't forget a phrase. I was threatened. You all have all the evidence because I gladly submitted it to you, believing and trusting that you were going to do the right thing. All I wanted was to do my job and to continue to serve the community. But I realize now that it was easier to get rid of one when practically your entire newsroom was full of bullies. I said it. You used your power to abuse me as an employee. And now as a private citizen with that picture of me a year ago, connecting me to an alleged fraud story that did not involve me at all. As you know, this is Journalism 101, and not one person stood on business and said, this is wrong. Not one. You consistently offended my humanity for years because you know there are no guardrails to hold you accountable. Did you feel that? That's called a shift in the atmosphere. With over 50 million people who are bullied in the workplace, this bill in New York, when it becomes law, which I'm praying it does in New York State, the pendulum is going to swing in the other direction. We are not going to tolerate and accept bullying at work. So to you, I say, again, you're welcome for the heads up. And if you decide to stop by for a 3rd time tomorrow, I'll be back. to continue to enlighten you at no cost. Because my silence is not for sale.